This is a very positive review of Sunbreak, the expansion from Monster Hunter Rise. This is my perspective as a longtime fan of the series. I'm going to keep it brief and to the point. Spoiler alert, spoilery stuff will be discussed. I've been a Monster Hunter enjoyer for 14 years now. I have so far considered every Monster Hunter game a masterpiece, except for Rise, which dared to do great things but fell short. Sunbreak brings it back into the masterpiece bracket, in my opinion. Rise messed up too many things for me, Sunbreak fixed those things. My main weapon was not good in Rise. Not only did Sunbreak fix that, but it also made it more fun than ever. The difficulty in Rise wasn't satisfying. Sunbreak addressed that. I'm not even gonna bother listing the amount of other small changes, tweaks, and quality of life improvements that were made. This review would be much longer. They've done a lot. Point is, you can tell that the devs were listening to player feedback. I have carted a healthy amount of times in Sunbreak. Monsters are fast and they hit hard. This is good. I actually got triple carted once during the story. Seregios was the culprit. Let's just say I didn't expect him to swoop in from behind with a follow-up attack. I don't care what you think. Triple carting while progressing through the game's story is a valid measure for whether a Monster Hunter game is a masterpiece or not, for an average player like me at the very least. You want monsters to challenge you, stop you in your tracks and motivate you to both get better at the game and farm better gear. The story for a Monster Hunter game was good, one of the better Monster Hunter narratives. The follower system, coupled with Fiorane joining us on urgent quests, helps make the setting more believable, which is something that almost all of the villages in the older games sorely lacked. As much as we like to look at them through nostalgia glasses, it makes sense that a hunting outpost is filled with capable hunters, rather than it being a village where there's only one capable hunter that conveniently has all of the shops and amenities necessary to him and him only. This has slightly improved with every game, but Sunbreak has done the best job of it by adding follower NPCs. I love all of the follower NPCs except for Jay. He's fine, but he's just a little bit cringe. I also like how the story ties in with the endgame. It's just done very neatly. Speaking of endgame, one thing I wanted Rise to do was to make the lower tier monsters relevant at endgame. Sunbreak did that. I'm happy. I love fighting afflicted monsters. I love fighting stronger versions of all monsters and not just a handful of Elder Dragons or Apex monsters. That's all I wanted. The monster roster so far has been impeccable. This is an instance of quality over quantity, and not only have I adored every new fight and returning monster, I've also been pleasantly surprised by how different pre-existing Rise monsters were thanks to the new moves they added at Master Rank. Fighting Master Rank Teostra almost felt like a different monster. Could have fooled me if you had slapped a different color on it and called it a variant. Malzeno is an incredible flagship and a masterclass in good boss fight design. His theme slaps, his hunt is challenging but fair, exciting and intense, he's incredibly cool and masterfully animated, and the environment in which we fight him, the Citadel, at night, is the perfect backdrop for this encounter. You can tell that they poured so much thought into him. The final boss of Sunbreak's story is an incredible spectacle, the fight is enjoyable too, even if it is a bit slower, and the soundtrack is fitting of a fight of such high stakes and epic proportions. There's so much content in this game. Regular quests, afflicted quests, follower quests, I'm still getting through it all, still unlocking tons of new gear. Fashion hunting is at its peak in Sunbreak. Elgato feels like home. It's familiar enough and different and unique enough at the same time. The soundtrack in Elgato is a breath of fresh air. The soundtrack in Sunbreak in general is incredible across the board. I'm not a music expert, but I can tell you this, what they've done to Astalos' soundtrack in Sunbreak is incredible. It's intense, it's full of energy, and it's just straight up cool. I've been listening to it almost every day while cooking in the kitchen, cooking while aggressively vibing to Astalos' soundtrack. Much like Astalos itself, the theme has had such a glow up, and the same goes for practically every remaster of the other older soundtracks, and they stay true to their original sound. I've already poured 200 hours in Sunbreak alone in a month. I'm not stopping anytime soon, and we've still got free title updates coming very soon. I am very excited for those to roll out, and if they're gonna be as good as everything's been so far, Sunbreak could easily become my new favorite title. Of course it's still not perfect, but neither was Iceborne, as amazing as it was. So in conclusion, Sunbreak is amazing, and this brief review probably doesn't even cover half of what makes this game great. Suzuki-san is a great director, he's done a fantastic job in his directorial debut, and I hope he continues to be similarly involved with the future titles. I am a happy hunter. I hope you're enjoying Sunbreak as well. If you aren't, well, too bad. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Take care, and until next time, happy hunting.